Testing, testing, hello. Can you hear me? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Panel Attack Online Expert Tournament for the month of April 2022. Buster Voice Pog, good. Is the stream audio, or the game audio rather, too loud or too quiet? Here we go. So, our first match right away, let's get straight into it with Mado versus Decibel. Decibel, a favorite to win most years, or most month that is. And Mado, a rather strong diamond ranked player. Oh, I got it backwards. I'll need to update the overlay. Hang on. Mado on the left and Decibel on the right. There we go. You were expecting Forky's voice? Well, Ganache, what I want to say would be unprofessional. Anyway, Decibel taking game 1 against Mado. Game audio could go up a smidge. Alright, I'll put it up a smidge. It has now gone up 1 smidge. Okay. So, we've got Decibel opening up with some small chains and a lot of combos, as lots of Grandmasters are apt to do. Mado opening with a ×5, and also a few smaller combos. Oh, Mado. He hasn't found anything yet. He found a clear, but it wasn't touching the garbage. Oh, he looks like he's locked out. Oh, but he found something, but it was too late. That was about right on the smidge scale. Perfect. Alright. Nice +5 opener by Mado there. ×6 opener with a good few combos interlaced in between. That will top out Decibel. However, Decibel takes it in stride, sending back a ×3 and a ×5 of his own. Smidge definitely a top tier unit of measurement. Perfect. Alright. This month I finally remembered to turn on the Tournament Edition skin pack. So this time we won't get any copyright claims on the VOD. Yay! I hope everyone is having a wonderful Saturday today as we go into this bracket. I was playing earlier, however I didn't quite do well enough in the round-robin brackets, the round-robin groups, to make it into bracket, that is. But I'm nice and warmed up and ready to commentate. I have my coffee next to me. You guys can't see it, but there it is. Alright, Mado opening with a ×6 opener. However, Decibel also doing a ×5 with a couple of +4s on top. Decibel setting up for a 6 combo into clear. There we go. He gets the garbage chain. Meanwhile, Mado on the other side here is searching for a clear. He sets up for a Shogun and he gets it. And there's his garbage clear. Setting up those yellows for the garbage clear. Setting up his second tier now so that he can hopefully do a nice transition. Ooh, some nice chaining going into the transition layer, but he was not able to find a clear. Will he be able to get the reds? Oh, he misswaps! That was too bad. Decibel taking game 4, which reminds me I have a win counter on the overlay here that I can update. I don't know if anybody ever looks at that. Let me know if you guys look at that. I don't know if we need that, because it's right there in the center of the screen after all, so I don't know. Anyway, I'm always trying to make the stream better. There's one less thing for us to pay attention to. We can pay more attention to commentary and things like that. You were looking at the beginning, probably because you noticed that it was completely wrong, right? No, for real though, thank you for the feedback. Alright, a bit of a combo storm from Mado, but it wasn't enough to top out. The purples into clear, and then a second tier +4 to clear the rest of the garbage. Now it looks like he may be trying to hit up some combos. Ooh, nice +8 from Mado. However, Decibel with 7 +5s already, less than a minute into the game. Once all of that chain garbage is gone, yep, there's all the combos coming down. Mado is doing a pretty good job dealing with it so far, but will he be able to keep up with it? The question is, for how long? Ooh, some +5s coming out from Mado. Very nice for buying time. Lots of combos coming out. Very nice. You love to see it. A T-shaped +6 coming from Decibel. Those are very difficult to pull off in my opinion, so... Well, you know, compared to a two-color, like, side-by-side +6, they are harder to do. I think. It is a good backup if lobby crashes, that's true. Alright, Mado is hitting the 2-minute mark against Decibel. Already I'm impressed. He finds a clear, buying some time. He's going to get a +6 × 2 into the garbage clear. There we go. Finding a +5 to buy just a little bit of time, but he was not able to get to those purples in time. And Decibel will take the first match of the tournament. Alright, congratulations to Decibel. He will be moving on. Now, Forky, you're in chat. We have the... Do we have the bracket link available? I believe you said the command was updated. Brackets. Next is Arisu and Pokemaster Shadow. Okay, I have the bracket in front of me. Let me just quickly go ahead and show that. What do I want to click on? Window capture, that's it. Okay, and there it is. Alright. So as you can see, the bracket is Decibel and Mado, Arisu, Master Shadow, KK and FKZ, Pawn and Decrates. So Decibel is moving on. Next is Arisu versus Master Shadow. I need to expand that a little bit. Okay. Now I'll shut that off. Okay, so Arisu versus Pokemaster Shadow. I see Arisu. I do not see Master Shadow in the lobby quite yet, so whenever you guys are ready, they've been pinged in the Discord, and we will be waiting. Meanwhile, I will update the scoreboard. I like to do this ahead of time and then just hope that it's ready. Pokemaster Shadow. Bam. Is he spectating in here? No, he's not. Where did Master Shadow go? Pokemaster Shadow! He got pinged, so he's aware. Alright, we're simply waiting on them. Oops, I can get rid of that. Alright, well, in the meantime, people are posting pictures of grass in the Discord because Forky is going to fight a blade of grass. One singular blade of grass. Who would win, a fork or a blade of grass? I keep on saying glass for some reason. It's not a blade of glass. Although you could make a blade out of glass, couldn't you? Gnos in chat says Poke is probably charging his phone or something. He's off charging his phone. For those unaware, Pokemaster Shadow is well known in this community for playing the Android version of Panel Attack on his phone. And he's also well known for posting screenshots of his gameplay in which his phone is not well charged, low. Let's see. Bam. Bam. There's a suspicious message in chat, and I'm not sure how to delete it, but I've already reported them. And restricted and stuff. Okay, anyway. There it is, thank you. Alright, there is Arisu versus Master Shadow. Okay, they have begun. And, oh, I forgot to click update. There it is, and I got it right. Arisu on the left and Master Shadow on the right. Mod powers. Okay. Master Shadow beginning with a ×6 opener to top out Arisu. That will put a bit of pressure on her in the beginning. I believe I have everything right. Yes. The regions and the ranks and everything. This is a single elimination bracket, right? Yes. Yes. Double elim is the intermediate bracket, which was a couple weeks ago. And also GCT's Wild Ride, which I almost won, you guys. Not to toot my own horn. In any case, we have Pokemaster Shadow sending a lot of ×2s. I believe those were probably on defense. It's very important to get those on defense. Pokemaster Shadow taking about 5 years to set up a +8 combo. Auto mood. Yeah, I still remember auto mood. Ooh, wow. Arisu sending a ×10 chain. So Pokemaster Shadow is going to have to hold that chain for quite a long time. But he will also be able to be sending a lot of damage back off of that. So Arisu's going to have to watch out for that combo storm coming up soon. As soon as Poke cuts this chain, right now he's going for a ×6 with a lot of... Ooh, there it is. The combos actually just fell. And I believe he just cut the chain based on the fanfare. Yep. Arisu playing very high stack, which is something that Master and above players tend to be a lot better at than Diamond and below. Something I'm definitely pretty bad at still. Arisu seems to be taking it in stride. Pokemaster Shadow having a lot of resources on the second tier, and he makes good use of them. He's got a lot of clears, but does he find something? Yep, he's making a lot of chains to create stop time. There's one of those ×2 defense chains, where you simply set up a ×2, an automatic chain, you might say, to buy some stop time, as well as the clear time. There's some shock panels that Pokemaster Shadow could be using, and it looks like he's going to go for them. Oh, but he finds the clear first. That's a wise decision. Meanwhile, Arisu very low stack right now. In her own words, too few panels, danger. Very dangerous to be that low. Arisu does find a clear. That looked very dangerous for quite a moment there. But she was able to find something. Hits a +4 into clear. Pokemaster Shadow having just a bit of trouble, but he finds something just in the nick of time, as he is prone to do. Poke needs to get rid of the shocks. It looks like he did. Now, the one interesting thing about shock panels, they create a one-line clear situation because the metal garbage does not connect to other colors of garbage. However, because of the way garbage falls, it will be deprioritized, and it will be the final thing to fall. So if Pokemaster Shadow continues to send chains and combos over and over, we may never see that metal garbage even fall, because other pieces of garbage will override it. See, it's still not here yet. Unless I missed the metal garbage falling, because I see that Master Shadow does not have the metal or the shock panels on his side anymore, so I think, pretty sure he cleared them. Also, if there are any devs in chat, I just realized that doing shock panels does not show up in the analytics next to the chains and combos. You guys think we should show the shock panels whenever you send some shock garbage? I kind of feel like that's relevant. He did clear metal. Okay. Alright, this match is coming up on the 5-minute mark. Will we see a 5-minute match against Arisu and Pokemaster Shadow? It's looking like we will. 10 seconds to go. Pokemaster Shadow finds a clear, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have a 5-minute match. This is Buster Beachside doing pro casting today on the Tetris Attack Online Discord. Well, Tetris Attack Online Discord's Twitch channel. Yes. I do believe we have a Discord link command. There we go. If you'd like to join the Discord, I believe everyone in here is so far. But, excuse me. If anyone is new here and would like to join the Discord for monthly tournaments, daily matchmaking, and just a lot of fun all around in the community, go ahead and join the Discord. We have a lot of fun there. Metal garbage doesn't even count towards the GPM. And no, they don't have to go to EX if they go past a certain amount of time. In the Japanese community, when they're playing Panel de Pon on Switch Online, if they go past 10 minutes on level 10, then they switch to Score Attack Online. But we have not implemented that rule. And even if we had, we do not have two-player online Score Attack implemented yet. We do have Score Attack, but only one player. Alright, Arisu taking the first game 6 minutes and 25 seconds in. This could be a long one. Let's see if they are both going to be survivors today. Already happened to have an EX tournament. Well, GCT's Wild Ride last weekend had the finals on EX. But no, we haven't had a regular tournament be played on EX mode. That could be an idea for a future month. Ooh! Master Shadow taking a quick one, because Arisu had that disruptive +5 garbage in the center of her screen. Alright, we have a ×6 coming out from Arisu. Master Shadow looking like his opening wasn't the largest, however, he did send a lot of combos. But Arisu spent a lot of panels and got very low down, so she was not topped out. Alright, so we have Master Shadow under a lot of pressure. He's going to have to send some chains to top out Arisu, because meanwhile she's kind of doing whatever she wants. Being very careful, clearing her garbage methodically. Sending a ×3. She may be attempting to purposefully set up the, what we like to call factory, creating those one-line clears coming in on Master Shadow's side, along with those difficult low shake time combo garbage. The awkward center block, exactly. Ooh, Master Shadow not able to find a clear in time because of that low shake combo garbage that came in, like I was just mentioning. And Arisu takes game number 3, which reminds me I will update the scoreboard on the overlay there. Okay, now this time Master Shadow is the one sending a large opening chain, and Arisu not sending very much at all in the opening here. Let's see what she does to come back from that. Master Shadow setting up a +6 into clear, doing a +4 into ×2, and then setting off that +6. Ooh, I saw him setting up for a chain there, but it actually cleared with some other panels below it. Okay, Master Shadow setting up some chains. Ooh, very nice. There was a +6 there, but unfortunately he didn't swap it quite in the right order. But he's still able to find the garbage clear, so not a big deal. Waiting just a moment, as you saw there, Pokemaster Shadow waited just a moment for the combo garbage to fall down before he made that clear, so that he could get the extra resources from the panels, or from the garbage rather, the extra panels out of the garbage. Chain garbage will clear one line at a time, however combo garbage, if it's all connected, will all clear into panels all at once, which makes them very useful if you can clear them on your own terms. As you can see here, Pokemaster Shadow will be having close to a one-line clear situation, however here there is a lot of resources on his second tier. Arisu also dealing with a similar situation coming up right here. And she finds a lot to clear with. And there's her garbage clear. Setting up those yellows for the garbage clear. Now she has a one-line clear situation. She shoguns. Oh, and Master Shadow taking that +5 garbage right at the wrong time. And Arasu will be taking game 4. It is now 3-1. Puzzle Speedrun is rating us with a party of 15. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us. From one tournament to another, from speedrunning to PvP. Welcome, welcome, everybody. Alright, I thought I had a characters.txt that would block everything except for the official Panel de Pon and Tetris Attack characters, but I guess not. Pokemaster Shadow, I can do either one here. I can do either one. Well, this is a mod that Pokemaster Shadow made. It is a Puyo Puyo character, Ringo, the Japanese version. Shouldn't cause any troubles, although it's a bit louder than most other mods in the game. Well, not most other mods, but just the ones that I have installed. Okay, so, Pokemaster Shadow sending a lot of chains. Arasu also sent a ×8 in the opening here. Ooh, Pokemaster Shadow with a +10 combo I see in the analytics. I got distracted by the raid. Oh, Arasu wasn't able to find anything. I believe she was going for the blues into clear, but there just wasn't quite enough time. So now it is 3-2. Pokemaster Shadow doing surprisingly well against Arasu. For those unaware, Arasu has very commonly come up against Decibel in the grand finals of the expert tournament in the past. And so, Pokemaster Shadow doing very well against a player who often makes it to the finals. Nothing to sneeze at, that's for sure. Alright, Master Shadow dealing with that one-line clear situation and getting out of it alive. He has just a little bit of a tier 2. Uh-oh. He had a clear setup. It didn't quite work out, but he was able to find something else to back himself up in time. He has to downstack that yellow, and he does. Makes a +5 into the 2 chain. Now Master Shadow has quite a large second tier, and now it's all just resources to be used. And he begins the chain with some combos. More combos coming down on Arasu's side. Those combos will be a good pressuring tool for Master Shadow, who once again has a large second tier to be used. And here comes the chain. Arasu setting up that second tier, hoping to set up a good transition once she gets to that point. Using her time very wisely. It's an important skill to use in this game. Alright, Master Shadow was not able to find something. I believe he was going for the reds, but there was just too much downstacking he had to do. And now it is game point for Arasu. Match point. These are first to 5 matches. First to 5 games wins the match. So, match point for Arasu right now. Can Master Shadow make a comeback? You never know what will happen on the expert tournament. Alright, Arasu, too few panels, danger. However, she has a second tier that she's able to use for a clear. Being able to do an early clear, especially on a one-line clear situation, is very nice. Master Shadow taking the extra time to set up that +6 combo because he was not topped out. Unfortunate that he downstacked that blue panel. He could have used it for a garbage clear, but he manages to make it work nonetheless. Okay. Ooh, only manages to clear that combo garbage, but it's okay. He manages to get a second clear just in time. And we see Arasu with 0 garbage on her field for just a moment there. And still not very much coming down from Master Shadow. He'll need to send some more chain garbage, unless he wants to spam combos like a Grandmaster, which I'm sure he would love to try to do, but that's very difficult. Just barely gets that garbage clear. That garbage chain, that is, on Master Shadow. Arasu still not topped out. Arasu sending a lot of combos. But Master Shadow is all too familiar with dealing with Combo Storm pressure at this point in time. Here comes the chain from Master Shadow, but will he be able to find the follow-up? He does. And he finds the Dark Blues. There's a +8 waiting for Master Shadow. There he goes. Alright, now Arasu finally have some more garbage on her side of the field. But will Master Shadow be able to deal with all of the pressure that Arasu was sending him in the meantime? It looks like he may be able to. We just hit the 2.5 minute mark on this match. Master Shadow does not want to lose this one, because if he does, he will be knocked out of the tournament for good this month. Arasu with a second tier clear available, but it was not needed. Ooh, that combo garbage was a little bit tough to deal with, but Arasu making short work of it. A +4 into clear for Arasu, with some garbage chains on the way. Master Shadow very high stack right now, which is very good for clearing away garbage very quickly and not having to deal with a lot of garbage all at the same time. However, it does mean you have less time overall to find things such as garbage chains, so it's very an acquired taste, so to speak. It's tough to do, playing high stack like that. Arasu finding a beautiful second tier clear right there. It was a horizontal. You love to see it. The good RNG for Arasu right there. I'm ready to hear Arasu win because she's playing as Kamek, and when Kamek wins, he'll have a nice win quote for us to listen to. However, there's no guarantee that Arasu will win. We're at the 4-minute mark. Master Shadow proving his worth today. Will we see a rise from the ashes? Will Master Shadow be able to make a comeback? It's clear that he has not yet given up. He does not intend to give this away to Arasu for free. Ganache saying in chat, that's the issue with Combo Storm. You give the opponent so much to work with when you're way ahead. And it's true, you give your opponent a lot of extra resources to use. Master Shadow finding a second tier clear. And now Arasu clearing a big Combo Storm right there. It seems to me as if Arasu is going out of her way to only send small chains at this point in time, which will create a lot more difficult clear situations for Master Shadow. However, Master Shadow seems to be going hard on the Combo Storm. He's sending ×2s, ×3s, +4s, +6. Only 3 +5s, which is interesting to see. Master Shadow seems to be prioritizing +6 combos. It's very interesting to see. Mara and Master incoming. Well, he is Master Shadow, isn't he? Meanwhile, I literally have the word Buster in my name. Ha 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 ha. Funny joke. Oh, look at that double shark garbage. However, shark garbage does connect to itself. Oh, but it was not enough. Pity laugh for me. Yeah, pity laugh. Haha, haha. And Arasu does take the final game for match point, and looks like this version of Kamek does not have my modded win quote, which makes me sad. Poke got impatient. Shucks. It's always funny when people challenge the streamer in the middle of a set. Alright. In the middle of a tournament, that is. Alright, so Arasu will be moving on to fight Decibel. However, first we have KK versus FKZ. Alright. I'm going to set up the thingamabob. Alright, there's KK versus FKZ. So FK, or KK's on the left. Alright. And now we have FKZ on the right. There we go. Has FKZ reached diamond rank yet? I feel like he did a while back, but I can't remember. They're not playing ranked, so I can't check his rating. For now, I'll leave it at platinum, because that's what my software defaulted to. Alright, so KK is a well-known Grandmaster player. However, FKZ has been doing quite well in recent months. So I'm interested to see how he performs today. KK has not been entering the expert tournaments except just recently. So we could be seeing some interesting matches today. It's very exciting to see some more Grandmaster level players in the tournaments. Alright, FKZ setting up for a ×2, or rather a ×3 garbage chain to make the clear. A lot of resources on tier 2. Not quite finding a clear just yet. Will he be able to find something? He's not able to. He bought a bit of time. The censor. Did someone get censored? Nothing's supposed to be censored. Also, my dog just came in and she's looking at me. Everyone say hi to Roll. She's my dog. I'm very professional, I know. Alright, FKZ is waiting to clear that large chain. KK sending a ×8 in the opening. FKZ sends a ×5 in the opening, but it looks like most of his garbage has already been worked through. Ooh, a nice combo storm coming down on KK's side, but KK is able to deal with it. That's a nice garbage chain setup coming from KK as well. Ooh, a slide looked almost unintentional from FKZ, but it works out perfectly. It may have been intentional, though. Slides are not the hardest thing in the world. They can be slightly inconsistent, but they're not really that hard. Oh, was that a miss swap from FKZ? Regardless, he was able to come back from it. Oh, I think he was trying to downstack the blue to make a +4 to buy some time, but it was not... He didn't have enough time for it. Procasting with dog co-host. Yeah, she already left because I wasn't paying attention to her. Alright, so we have both players with some rather small openings. FKZ does send a ×5. However, KK seems to be focusing more on combos in the opening here. Not quite enough to top out. So FKZ simply working through it rather quickly. There's a quick chain coming out from KK. But it's still not quite enough because FKZ playing rather low stack. So it is not quite enough garbage to top him out. He does hit that +5. He goes for the reds for the garbage chain. Finds the purples into the next clear. Oh! He goes for those purples from full screen, and there was not enough time for it. And KK now on 3 wins. By the way, I realized that KK's region did not autofill because he hasn't been in the tournament before, so I don't know what region KK is from. So I might just leave the country blank, because he hasn't let us know. Oh, leaving it, oh, there we go. Alright. I'm gonna leave that blank. Alright, KK setting up for a ×2 +5. He is Japanese? Okay. I get confused between some of the Grandmaster players. Alright. And KK taking the 4th game. Yeah, Ganache is the local detective. He knows the most about all the other players. Even the mysterious ones. Ooh, that was an interesting shaped +8 on KK's side. You love to see it. Those interesting solves. And look at that +9. But it was too much for FKZ to deal with, and KK will be taking this match 5-0. KK is the god of +9, says Ganache. Lunar Chimera wants to know what Ganache knows about him based on Buster's detective comment. He probably knows the genre of competitive that you play, so to speak. Alright, so next up on the brackets, we have Pone versus Decrates. Alrighty. Alrighty. Whoop. There we go. My PC is being weird. Alright, so we've got Pone on the left, who is a master from Brazil, if I'm not mistaken. And then we have Decrates. Bam, on the right. Alright. Where can you see the bracket? Just do !bracket in chat and we will post a link. Or Nightbot will. And it's also in the Discord, yes, in bracket links. In fact, I'll just quickly... Bam. There we go. That is the current bracket, for those interested. Alright, Pone and Decrates playing ranked today in the expert tournament in brackets. Will Decrates be able to farm some points off of Pone today? We shall see. He finds a tier 2 +6 going into the clear. Pone is topped out at the moment. However, Decrates is not. Pone currently working on a rather large chain, although it wasn't quite enough. Alright, here comes another large chain from Pone. I believe he's attempting to just get some damage onto Decrates so that he can be topped out. Excuse me. I just had to sneeze. I need to remember how to quickly mute my microphone for times like that. Brazil and Japan too strong. Indeed. Who knew it was Brazil? Ooh, Decrates taking game number 1. He gains 7 points off of that. I saw it just barely. Alright, Decrates. 1 game coming in. Brazil has some connection to Japan, I swear. Says chat. Poke was the only states rep in the top 8 today. Oh man. I didn't make it, so I wouldn't have repped. Forky's not playing today because he's the TO. Okay, again, I thought the tournament edition was supposed to only have all of the characters and stages from Tetris Attack, but here's the Corone stage, so everyone enjoy the Corone stage. We're a very professional stream around here, you guys. We all get paid thousands of dollars per minute to do what we do, obviously. We prepare for these months in advance. Panel Attack is my passion. Hello, Lean, or Leon. Leandro, I believe is what that's short for. I don't know. We're not going to get a strike from that, don't worry. I removed all of the songs, all of the stages with songs that should get us copyright stricken or claimed. We're not going to get a strike either way, but we would have gotten claimed. I mean, I guess, whatever, that's a long and arduous thing to try and explain right now. The point is, it's fine. Alright, so we've got 2-1, Pone leading currently. He took 2 quick games. I was busy reading chat and doing stuff. By the way, if there's any like TO type people who aren't doing anything else, who want to co-commentate, I'm down for that. Just let me know. But we've got Pone with the longest worst +6 ever, says Ganache. Oh! Decrate's taking quite a while to find that clear, but he does find something just in time. Alright, stop time is very important in this game. Oh, but Crate's not able to find a clear in time. And Pone will take game number 3, and we're back to the Corone stage, everybody! We're back! Alright, Pone raising high in the beginning here. Meanwhile, Decrate's sending some large chains, well, relatively speaking. At this level of play, higher level players, I'd say in the high diamond bracket and above, tend to send more small chains, like maybe ×6 and below, and otherwise we'll focus a bit more on a combo offense because of just how powerful the low shake time is for that. I'm working on consciously not saying the words shake time reset because it was recently brought to my attention that nothing is actually being reset. Maybe someone in the chat can explain it a little better than I can at this moment. Alright, so Decrate's currently not topped out, but Pone sending a bit of a chain and a +8 going into his next clear right there. Looks like Decrates is able to handle it pretty well, though. And a nice T-shaped +9. Oh! Setting off that clear just a bit too early, and it wasn't touching the garbage quite yet. Okay. Ooh, Pwn scaring me for a moment there with how long it took to set up that combo right there. But it worked out because he had some stop time to spare. I feel like I never have stop time in this game, even when I do like a times 5,000 chain. Oh, see? Like that. I would have been like, didn't I just do a times 2? But in that case, Decrates did not have the stop time remaining. That +9 opener coming out from Decrates into a times 2, times 3, times 4, times 5. Not half bad with all of that combo pressure on top. Ooh, and a lot of the combos actually fell early. Because on level 10, a +8 or higher can actually fall before the chains do. This is an interesting little piece of tech. What shake time? What stop time? But it is there. It's just short. I know, right? That's how we feel playing level 10. What shake time? What stop time? What's pumpkin? There was never a pumpkin there. Me and my deep cut references. Anyway. Ooh, that's going to be an interesting times 3 + 6 for Decrates right there. A Shogun coming out from him. Ooh, and a +8 also coming out. Wow, was that a catch that Crates just did for that chain? Looked a little fancy, even if it wasn't actually fancy. It looked fancy, and that's what matters. Everything that you do unintentionally, but that looked fancy, you take credit for it in this game, okay? You say you did it on purpose, because who's going to question you, right? Nice +6 for Decrates. Ooh, okay. Both players... Oh, Decrates... No, never mind. Crates is still topped out. There were some combos ready to fall. Now, both players just barely not topped out, but there should be some combos and chains about to fall, and there they both are. On both sides. Ooh, this could be interesting for Pwn. Looks like some interesting combo garbage to have to work through here. Could be interesting because it's not all going to be connected. He downstacks, and look at all those +4s, and he still has another +4 on the right side of the screen. He's still not clearing it. He's leaving it for the time being, and look, it's just sitting there in the middle of his stack. Look how low that +4 garbage is, and now he's doing a garbage clear to clear the garbage underneath the clear, and it's not even tier 2. It's just sitting there in the stack, and now it's finally gone. That was very interesting. That's the longest I've ever seen a +4 just sitting in the middle of somebody's stack. That's very funny. Alright, oh! Decrates now. His board was a little bit messy for a time there, but he managed to clean it up a little bit, and now he's doing a chain. Very nice automatic ×3 setting off right there. That is Pwn sending a ×8 chain at the 3-minute mark here. And Decrates will have to spend a good amount of time dealing with that. However, he is relatively high stack right now, so he's not having to spend too much time. He sets up a +7, which on defense is not half bad, so it gives you a lot more stop time. Oh, unfortunate! That was a misswap from Decrates. He had those yellows, the stars were ready. But that makes it a 5-1. Not quite a sweep from Pwn. However, it was a rather dominating victory. Pwn gaining 2 and Decrates losing 3 from that. I think Crates probably went minus overall on that. That's unfortunate. These players with a 300 points, or 200 point, excuse me, difference in rating, you gain a lot of points for winning, but you still can lose enough from losing that you kind of go even or even lose points in the end. Those two towers on pawn's side were looking quite dangerous. They were. They were. Alright, looking at the brackets. We now have Decibel versus Arisu. And they're already in the lobby here. So, hang on. I've got Arisu on the left and Decibel on the right. After this, we'll be seeing KK versus Pone. So give me one moment, ladies and gentlemen, to update the scoreboard. And then Decibel. Click that. Oh, and I need to update the scores as well. Forgot to clear those. Oh, well, never mind. Decibel taking the first game already, so I can update that again. 3 Japan, 1 Brazil, North America sucks. Yep, that's about right. But you know what? We're working on it, okay? We have you, Ganache. You might be one of the strongest North American players. You're definitely among the strongest, if nothing else. You're North American. It's in your name. That's true. Arisu versus Decibel is usually the finals. This is technically the semifinals. But this is single elimination, so it looks like this is going to be our semifinal match this year. This month. I keep saying that. This is a monthly tournament, not a yearly tournament. I'm used to tournaments being like a once-a-year type of deal, but it's online, so we can just do it monthly. Which is great, by the way. Hey, if you guys aren't in the Discord and you want to take part in our monthly tournaments, we do have a novice tournament and an intermediate tournament, so if this looks like it's far beyond your level, there is a tournament for you. If you haven't joined the Discord, just do !Discord in the chat as a command, and it will post our link, free to join for all. And also, I want to real quick give a shout out to we also have a YouTube channel where we post VODs of these tournaments every month, as well as sometimes some little bonus content. So if you search for Tetris Attack Online on YouTube, in fact, do we have a command? We don't have a command. If anyone knows how to add a command that will link to our YouTube page, that would be great. So we also have a YouTube. We have less subscribers than we should have on YouTube. Speaking of subscribers, you can also subscribe to our Twitch page, which any money from that will simply go back into supporting the server costs for the actual game itself. And in exchange, you will get some cool emotes that we get from Discord. Like, me when win, me when lose, the garbage smile, Blarg happy, the GG emote, stop, Bruno, and most importantly, John please fix. The best emote ever seen to all mankind all over the world. Decibel taking game number 2. The command has been successfully added. Beautiful, thank you, Forky. So this is a less worse game than speedrunning Tetris Attack. Well, this game is very hard to speedrun because you come up against players who are like actually really good. Welcome, Taman. Welcome. Soon enough, this game technically is speedrunnable. We have a speedrun.com page for endless mode to get the quickest 99999. Did Arisu just take one? Oh yeah, she did. That was a quick one. Now, excuse me, I gotta mute the mic for about 30 seconds. Take care of something. One moment, please. Okay, and I'm back. What did I miss? Looks like everything is still going the same as where I left it. So, we have Arisu not quite... Oh, never mind. She is topped out now. There's some combo pressure coming out from Decibel right now. And Decibel not quite topped out. However, I was expecting those combos to come down. Yep. Ooh! And Arisu taking the 4th game. It is now tied up 2-2. Alright. Excuse me, I keep having to mute the mic because I'm dealing with some allergies, but I took an allergy pill and I'll be fine. Alright. A rather large chain coming out from Arisu in the opening here. Ooh, there's a +8 for Decibel. Whenever I watch Decibel, I'm always just in awe at how easy he makes it look to find these amazing combos. He makes it look easy, and then when I play, it's like, how come my board does not just fall into place like that? That's what it looks like when I watch Decibel. He's so good. Amazing player, ladies and gentlemen. His board vision is top-notch. Setting up that +9, I wouldn't have even thought to do something like that. I would have just hit the +8 and called it a day. Ooh. There might be more combos where that came from on Decibel's side of the board. And so he sets off that clear as soon as possible. Alright, meanwhile, Arisu not quite topped out, but there's going to be some more combos dropping as soon as she stops clearing. There's one, and there's the rest. There they are, but she was able to hold them back by doing a clear. That is one thing you can do to deal with combo pressure. If you do a clear before they've all finished falling, they will stop falling temporarily until you stop clearing, which gives you plenty of time to find a follow-up. Alright, Decibel seems to be a big fan of doing combos into clear. As long as Arisu can continue keeping up by doing clears and using the extra resources from all that combo garbage to her advantage, she can continue this fight. We're just passing the 2-minute and 20-second mark on this one. Desi makes it look like it's just fate, says Ganache. Yes. It's just fate that Decibel gets the +9 and the +8. Just in the middle of a garbage chain. There it is. He's just got a +8. It's just right there sitting. It looks like it's just been waiting for him since the dawn of time. Ooh, very interesting chain from Arisu. I love to see it. Wow. That was quite a large chain coming out from Arisu. A ×8 right now. And Decibel got caught rather low stack against it, so he's going to have to take his time against it. However, Decibel, once again, a master at finding rather large combos. He will be able to make the most out of this. We continue sending combo pressure, cutting this chain early so that he can send some damage against Arisu before he's quite finished dealing with all of this garbage. Plus, once again, at high level, you don't want to send too large of a chain because chains will send, or rather, they give a lot more shake time than smaller chains as well as combo garbage. And during shake time, you cannot lose the game. So a strong player, such as Arisu here, will make very good use out of it. Okay, we got a transition. Wow, and he does it frame perfectly to get a ×2 out of it as well. That'll be just another extra line of pressure against Arisu. Decibel waiting just a few moments for all of those combos to fall so that he could clear them and use them as resources in his next offensive wave. And now it seems like Decibel has not been able to keep Arisu topped out. Ah, but that is only how it looks because look at all those combos. Decibel with all those combos. He's, as you can see, everyone, Decibel has a very combo-heavy play style. Excuse me once again. Against Decibel, you simply have to assume that the combo storm is coming anytime that you don't have a clear ready and waiting. Decibel sending the rare ×6 chain in the opener here, coming from him. You don't see large chains from Decibel very often, but you do see it occasionally. Like in most games, following the same exact game plan every single game is not going to work, because your opponent can react to what you're doing and change their own game plan accordingly. And so you need to kind of mix up your gameplay from time to time. I don't know if you guys heard that doodly-doo, but that was not the game, that was my phone. And I'm going to mute my phone real quick. My nephew has been texting me about how to play Skyrim. Okay, so we have Decibel setting off a +6 for the garbage clear here. We have Arisu going into a one-line clear, however there's a fateful Shogun just waiting for her. Alright, looks like she has plenty of clears going into the next tier here. That all rhymed. Clears in the next tier here. I totally did that on purpose. I'm just cool and I can rhyme. I'm a rapper. Yeah. We just hit the 2-minute mark on this match today. Or on this game, rather. Let's see. We're at 2-3 currently. Yes, I did update the scoreboard. Decibel, not looking like he's under too much pressure. There's surely going to be a lot of +4 garbage is about to fall. Yep, there's a few. However, Arisu may still have some unseen and untelegraphed... Ooh, there's all the garbage coming out from Decibel. Oh no! Arisu nearly locked out there. And even if she had hit those horizontal clears, it would have been tough. Arisu fittingly getting the Arisu character for the match point against Decibel. I think it just happened to randomize to that. But in any case, we have a ×7 coming out from Arisu, and Decibel having to deal with the combo shake time landing on top of it. Okay. We have a lot of resources on Arisu's side of the field. Ooh, a lot of miss swaps in a row from Arisu trying to stealth that for the down stack. Fails a couple of times, but luckily it wasn't that big a deal. She wasn't under pressure at that point in time. Okay, Decibel with a lot of one-line clear situations. Now he's simply chaining and creating clears until he can find a garbage clear, and he does. She needed to wait for all the combo garbage to fall there so she could return to high stack without raising, says Ganache. Yeah, too few panels, danger. And that is why too few panels equals danger. You'll end up getting locked out and not having enough resources. She wasn't quite locked out. She had options there, but they just took too many swaps. Ooh, that was a nice ×4 chain from Arisu. Nice ×7. Ooh, she's very low stack now, but she's going to clear all of those combos. That's one thing you can do against this kind of combo pressure. If you can make sure you have at least one clear going into the garbage, you clear it and you just get all of those resources that you just spent right back. And now Arasu is back to being rather high stack. She has 2 tiers. Ooh, no garbage coming out from Decibel right now. Arasu was free to do whatever she wished for just a moment there. Oh, but unfortunately she may have gotten complacent with it because Decibel taking game 5. Arasu putting up a respectable 2 wins against the Grandmaster Decibel. But unfortunately, that will be Arasu out of the running for this year. Congratulations to Decibel. He will be moving on to Grand Finals. Dying to stuff that wasn't enough to top out is so painful, says Ganache. Yes, it certainly is. Alright, well next up we have KK versus Pone. And then after that we would be moving on to Grand Finals, but we will be having a bronze match. So Arasu will be playing against the loser of this upcoming match next. KK versus Pone. And then the winner of KK versus Pone will be playing Decibel. Yeah, we need a 3rd place match. Otherwise, they tie for 3rd, right? Yeah, we gotta have a bronze match. Okay, let me update the scoreboard. So we have KK on the left and Pone on the right. Click the save button, reset the score as well. Alright, and away we go. Pone opening with a ×6, a couple of combos on top. KK opening up with smaller chains, however he's got more combo pressure already going out. Pone dealing with the combos. Okay. Ooh, Pone has a dangerous tower. Okay. He's able to deal with the twin towers. It was not the Battle of Helm's Deep for Pone for very long. He just stealthed his +4 back out. That's fun. You love to see it. Caught Pone mashing there. He's got the towers again. Oh my goodness, he's able to find... Ooh. If that chain hadn't fallen at that time, he wouldn't have had enough shake time to deal with that, but he was able to do it. Okay, finds the greens. Pone is making me very nervous right now. Suddenly, inexplicably, Ken S versus Scarface because why not? This is what the people desire. Chat. Caught Pone mashing in 4K. Look at the towers on Pone's side. He's making me so nervous with the twin towers. He is playing Lord of the Rings. Panel attack. The Lord of the Panels. The twin towers. Oh my goodness, but he's making it work somehow. He's making it work, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, I see what he's going for. He gets the yellows. He gets a ×2. That'll save him a little bit of time. Okay, he gets the yellows once again for the garbage clear. Oh my goodness. He's playing like this loser I know called Buster Beachside. Except he's making it work, unlike that loser Buster Beachside. Oh, that was a very nice... Wow. Very interesting combo chain coming out from Pone right now. Look at those 2 line clear situations for KK right now. It'll be very interesting to deal with. A lot of resources, able to find some clears off of that. However, harder to create a transition with that sort of setup. Could be what Pone is attempting to do. In the middle of an expert tournament, yep. That's the time when people are most likely to play whack, though, because everyone's nervous. They've got the tournament nerves, you know? That's when I play whack. That's when I start straight whack chaining. That's what I call it. When you're whack chaining. When it doesn't look like it should work, but then somehow it works out for you. Or when you just barely miss the chain like 5 times in a row, and you just make a bunch of 3 clears. That's called a whack chain. Alright, lots of combos coming out from KK at the moment. Ooh, lots of combos coming onto KK's side of the board. However, he's able to deal with it. He saw it coming. Should we call that whacking? You may be dangerously close to getting banned. Okay, you might be. It's already a dance. We'll call it the weed whacker. When you're busy weed whacking, that's when you're just clearing panels fruitlessly and not sending any damage. Just clearing panels for the sake of it. Because you're trying to buy time. When you're just weed whacking. Trying to clean up the field. You need your board to be pristine. When you go out to the field and you try to use the weed whacker to get rid of all your panels, but instead the weed whacker flies out of your hands and it whacks off all of your hair. Alright, ooh, a little bit of lag coming from KK, but it caught up because all hail the rollback netcode. All hail the rollback netcode. All hail the rollback netcode. Look at the lag, but it's okay because the game does not care too much. I mean, if it gets too much latency, it'll crash, but it seems to be keeping up okay. This is, by the way, a match between Japan and Brazil, and it is being spectated by a guy in North America. Oh, KK, oh no. What happens? He started going up like he was going... Oh. It was a crash. That's unfortunate. Alright. Once again, did anybody win? I wasn't keeping score. Was that still the first game? Oh my goodness. Match point overlays. Yeah, I know. 5 minutes into crash. Check the replay folder. Replay browser. Yes, there was one. But this might have been from the round robin. Whoever player 2 was. Hang on, I'll just make it really fast. You can make it really fast. Yeah, this is a thing you can do. You just hit the right arrow key and it goes super kicky fast. Oh, this was the crash game, wasn't it? This was the crash game. This was the one we just watched. Okay. So I think they just disconnected. Alright. We're replaying this match, according to the tournament organizer, BB Forky. So it's still 0-0. Alright. That's a shame. Disconnections can still happen. Rollback netcode isn't the be-all, end-all for networking problems. If things happen, things happen. As Jambox said the other day, we just need to invent rollback netcode that can account for a 5-hour difference. There aren't any matches on public replays? Okay. Well, it could be that one of them has replays disabled, though. It's hard to use replays as a definitive measurement for who won or lost because of that, unfortunately. But it looks like it didn't record, yeah. It could be, once again, that one of them just don't have replays enabled, but They both have them enabled? Oh, I see. You can tell that from seeing. Okay. In that case, we can know definitively it was a crash game. Because the server did not declare a win for either side. And when the server is the final judge of what actually happened. Okay. We have one topped out KK. We have one nearly topped out Pwn. Just as soon as he stops making clears, there will surely be some combos falling. There they were, but he made it clear early on so that they would not all fall at the same time. Could have been dangerous. Makes it ×5. Does he have a clear for the upcoming combo storm? Ooh, there it was. Alright. Fortunately for Pwn, they did not fall very quickly. Here comes a chain from KK, creating a one-line clear. However, he's not topped out, so it is not all that dangerous currently. There is the combo storm, and he made me nervous for just a moment there. He didn't have a lot of time to deal with that. But he manages to make it work once again. Alright. KK using a horizontal clear to get rid of that garbage. Just barely has enough time to set that, I believe it was yellow, into place for the garbage clear. Hits a +6. I saw him set up a +4, but he dismantled it and created a +6 instead. Very impressive. Grandmaster kind of gameplay to see. Ooh. KK with some space to actually raise his stack right now. Something that can actually be pretty rare to see because a lot of players at high level will be just constantly topped out, getting the vast majority of their resource panels out of the garbage, especially out of the combos. It can be one reason why the efficiency that you use to actually clear or create garbage with can be important. Because when you do chains, you actually end up adding panels to the ecosystem, so to speak. Because you clear 3 panels and create 6 panels worth of garbage, which all clear into the panels. Playing... Is this... Yes, this is the Corone stage again. It's the VTuber. I'm thinking we probably either cancel third place match or play it off stream since I anticipate a long game. What do you think, Buster? Says BB40. Or playing it off stream, says Ganache. If third place match players don't care, they could just play it while the finals are going. Either way is fine with me. I'm free today, so I don't need to go anywhere or anything like that. So if you guys are down for me to stream third place match, I can still stream it. We have had a lot of long games this month because we've had Decibel, we've had KK, we had Morakonda did a 8-9 minute match versus KK earlier today, which was very unprecedented, very impressive. And also Arasu tends to give some very long matches. So it's been a long one this month, which we do love to see the long matches around here. The longer the match, the more impressed we are. Especially when both players are on level 10 and sending each other constant pressure. I think we gotta consider everyone's schedule. Yep. Well, yeah, of course. I'm just saying for me, I'm fine. Doesn't have to be that way. Desi is waiting in the final. Yeah, Decibel is waiting in the wings. I don't know what time it is in Japan right now. I think it's like really early in the morning for them at the moment. It's unfortunate that time zones are a constant issue plaguing our online gaming society. But it is what it is. We just try our best to work around it. For me, currently, the tournaments are happening at 2 o'clock p.m. They used to be at 11 a.m., which was better for some people and worse for other people. It's really impossible to find a perfect time to hold this sort of tournament, especially when you have such a worldwide community as ours. Despite how small our community is, we are very much a worldwide community. This is very exciting. But it does make it hard to organize events at times. Which is just an unfortunate reality, I think, of doing online events like this. It is 8:47 a.m. in Japan. Well, that's not terrible, but when you consider how early they had to get up for the beginning, it started at 6 a.m. for them then. In Japan, this tournament started at 6 o'clock in the morning. So they would have had to get up pretty early to make it for this. Which makes it all the more impressive to me when I see players like Decibel and Arasu showing up month after month for this tournament. The dedication is quite worthy. You guys know that when it used to be at 11 a.m. on a Saturday, I used to have trouble waking up even at 11 a.m. for these. I would constantly skip out on the tournaments because I felt like sleeping. Well, that's more of a me problem. But honestly, though, the tenacity of the Japanese players to always wake up early for these tournaments is impressive. It's something to be admired. It used to be 3 a.m. for them. Good lord. Yeah, at least for that, you can, like, since it's a weekend, if you don't have anything planned, and you're, like, a young bachelor like me, you can realistically, like, stay awake for that. Not that I would be playing at my best if I were doing that, but some people just aren't capable of doing that. And if you actually slept and then woke yourself up at 3 a.m. to play a tournament like this, goodness, I can't even imagine trying to do that. I would just say, well, I guess I can't do it. Oh my goodness, we've got KK with 4 wins right now. I haven't been keeping track because we've been talking about funny things this whole time. Ganache would never. Well, Ganache, you don't join anyway. You haven't played in a long time. Ooh. Yay! Pone was able to take one. It wasn't a sweep. No game is worth waking up at 3 a.m. See, Ganache understands me. Partially. Uh-oh. KK is seeing some lag again. Was that legit? That was legit. It didn't crash. Okay. I thought that might have been a crash because there was a lot of, unless there was a large prize pool. Yeah, sure. And if there was a large prize pool and you had a realistic chance of winning, right? Wow. So that was a legit 10-second win from Pone right there. Impressive. Or just rotating to favor various regions. I suppose we could do that. But for the time being, it is how it is. And we've got both players not topped out currently. They may both be feeling the pressure of all of these long games. It has been a lot of long games. Ganache says, I need to be making at least 500 to be waking up that early to play in a tournament. Would you wake up at 3 a.m. for $500? Alright, now both players are now topped out. But Pone, now with 0 garbage on his field, he is making large chains. There's the garbage storm. Ooh, there was some actual metal garbage in there. How long ago did that happen? That it's only just now showing up. He clears it, and there's some ×2s falling on top. Okay, and there's even more times 2s. Maybe that 1+7 that he made earlier. Okay. Ooh, that was an interesting combo storm. That could have been very dangerous. Reminds me of playing the combo storm training mode that was somewhat recently added, where it sends a bunch of ×5 combo garbages at you. Let's see. KK's offense makes it so awkward, yes. If the odds were good, I made $500, then maybe. Yeah. Everyone's talking about, you guys know we don't have a prize pool for these, right? It's just for clout. It's just for the experience. Maybe one day if we start getting enough, like, subscribers on Twitch, maybe we can fund a prize pool. Maybe. Right now we don't. Oh yeah, predictions. Guys, we need to predict the match outcome so that you guys can earn the channel points, which are panels. And then you can spend 69,420 of them to give a shout out to Solitaire. There's nothing else currently except for the default things. Default rewards, but that's okay. I feel like we need to add at least some like funny chat commands or something that we can use channel points for, because they're kind of boring with just the default stuff. But that's just my take. In any case, we're at the 3-minute and 45-ish second mark. KK is about to deal with a one-line clear. He is topped out, so he's going to have to deal with it proper. He sets up a transition with the yellows. Alright, and he deals with it. Meanwhile, Pone is making another rather large chain. I think that was either a 7 or an 8. Alright, Pone dealing with a one-line clear. He manages to buy enough time to deal with it. Prize pool is shivers and spikes of dopamine. Yeah. It's just, the real prize pool are the friends we made along the way. That's the true prize pool. The true prize for winning the Panel Attack Expert Tournament. Are you guys now talking about, like, giving cryptocurrency as the prize pool? Don't even start. Don't even start with that. Oh, if you win, you get a Panel Attack NFT. Oh my gosh. No. Stop. Stop it. Clout coin? No. When I said you do it for clout, that's not what I meant. Oh, okay. KK taking the final game. It was 5-2. Hey, I'm not the one talking about it, okay? Just because you guys brought it up first. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, that was KK winning. KK will be going into the grand finals against Decibel. Meanwhile, Arsu versus Pone can be playing the bronze match. Do we want to... How about the Panel Attack mug with no handle? I have it. I have it. I would turn on my cam and show you guys, but my cam is unplugged right now. Alright, so are we going to do the third place match? I believe we are. I'm down to do third place. Let's see. Looking at the Discord, wherever third place... Arsu says, I want to see final. Okay, cool. We will have both streams on game. Or both games on stream. Arsu versus loser versus Pone. And then... Yeah, it was 5-2. Alright, so we're going to be doing Pone versus Arsu for the third place match. Alright, and Pone says, let's go, I want to see the finals. Good luck, have fun, Arsu, he says. Alright, so I see Pone right here, and there's Arasu, so we're just waiting for them to get in lobby. There we go. Alright, oh, and I need to update the overlay once again. Alright, on the left we have Pone. No, not Pokemaster Shadow, Pone. And on the right we have Arasu. Alright, here we go. This is the third place match. Buster saying it like Pone and I'll never recover. Do you know Japanese pronunciation well enough to know that this game is pronounced Panel de Pone, not Panel de Pon? Okay, that would be an A if you wrote it out in English. It's not Panel de Pon, it's Panel de Pone, okay? And it's spelled the same, and he's a Panel de Pone player. So whenever people come in here and start saying Pon, that's when I never recover. Okay? Speaking of which, Pone sending a rather large... Oh no! But Arasu taking the first match with the Combo Storm. We're back to the Korone stage, everybody. We're back. Korone wants to be part of this expert bracket this month. Somebody get Korone to play Panel Attack on stream. We'll get a VTuber in on it, okay? That's the plan. We get a famous VTuber in on the panel action. That's how we grow the community. That's how we get a real prize pool. This VTuber is gonna sue us. Oh my gosh. Everyone else says pawn. Well, it depends. Is he a Panel de Pone player or is he a chess player? We'll let him decide. I'll bet you he'll just say, you can say whatever you want. Oh no, Pone! Not able to take the clear. That's reserved for when bread tier players play. Panel de Pan would be Panel de Bread. That's right. Pan means bread in like multiple different languages. Panel de Pan. But actually it's a French word, I believe. It's like a French onomatopoeia that's like an explosion. Because the panels explode. So the actual title is like Panels with a Bang, if you were to translate it into English. That's what I read in an interview once anyway. Like one of those old developer interviews. Panel de Pone! The pone is like a sound effect for an explosion. A pop. It's trivia for today. Alright, Arasu is not topped out. However, Pone is very topped out. Continuing to make me nervous. Boy. You better make those garbage clears. And send some more garbage. Panel does have lore. Panel has lore. Forky says bread equals good. Good equals BB Forky. GCT says bread equals delicious. Alright. Oh my goodness. The prediction right now is 94% in favor of Pone to win. 94 to 6%. Somebody voted, 2 people voted 50 panels on Arasu. 4 people voted 1,000 panels on Pone to win. Okay. There are 1.6 panels, 1.6 thousand panels, excuse me. 1.6 thousand panels at stake. I know. We'll, the prize pool for winning the expert tournament will be like 1,000 panels in the Twitch stream. Alright, it is 1-2. Pone taking his first game of the set. I suppose you can be... Oh, you're not GCT? Whoops. Panel has lore and you are losing to Japan yet again. Yeah, we tend to do that, Yoshi. You're Ken S. Okay, my bad. It's because everybody has a different name everywhere. You know how I feel about everybody having different names everywhere. It's because I don't know who everyone is. You can call me GCT if you like. I'm sure you'd love to be GCT. Everyone wants to be GCT. The meme lord himself. Savage Ganache in the chat right now. GCT is Ubicon. Yeah, that's right. I saw the G and I saw a C in between the X, after the X, and, you know, I was like, I'm not sure who this is. I think this is GCT. But I didn't say I think. I just said it as if it was a fact. Anyway, these two players are actually very close to equal in terms of their ranked rating. This could be quite a close match. They're both master level players. One from Japan and one from Brazil. And everyone knows that those regions are stacked. Japan versus Brazil, ladies and gentlemen. The run back. My name is not Butter! Ah! I can't believe it's not Butter. I can't believe it's not Butser. You people are so cruel. Yeah, nice casting, yes. Pro casting. Pro casting. I stole your joke? Good. Oh my goodness. Alright. Let me actually cast the match, okay? We've got a ×2 +6 coming out. Ooh. That's Arasu on the right side there. She has 3 shock panels. She's been able to raise enough to get those. They're not quite accessible just yet. She may be able to send those. She has a lucky 2nd tier clear. Horizontal. Very nice. Very nice. I haven't... Well, I ate a little bit today. I had a piece of cheese because it was quick for me to grab out of the fridge before I started up the stream. I haven't had very much yet, and I'm starting to get a brain fog from not having eaten. I hope at the very least my commentary is entertaining. That's what I aim for, okay? This is what I do. I haven't recorded a YouTube video in a while, but that's something that I do. Pro commentary! What's the score? It is 1-2 right now. Arasu leading. Why is it 100-8? Why is that a command? Pone's got this set. Pone, you can do it. Just don't start whack chaining now. Don't turn on the weed whacker. Oh! And there it is. Pone is tying up the set 2-2. Buster don't know the lore? Wait, what did I say? Oh, about 100-8? I don't know the lore for that. It was 100-8. What's the score? Did I miss something? Is this bad lore? Forky with the bad lore. Everybody, go fund me for Yoshimitsu to get him a better computer. And then we'll do a GoFundMe for Pokemaster Shadow to get him a better computer so he can stop playing on his phone. And then we'll do a second GoFundMe for Packy so that we can add voice acting. And then we'll do a 4th GoFundMe for our private jets. For all the moderators. And then we'll do another GoFundMe so that we can all get Teslas. Oh my goodness. Okay. You know, when you watch panel sets for this long in a row, It's kind of like when you say the same word over and over and over, it all kind of starts to blend together. There are still interesting moments happening here. I'm just having trouble picking it all apart because this is all beyond my own level, personally. I mean, it's not like I can't tell what's going on. We've got a +4 coming out from Arisu. Ooh, uh-oh. That's dangerous. Okay, Arisu manages to find a +4. Now we've got a +5 with some automatic chains coming out. A +6 in second tier to clear. Move some towers, but she's able to clear underneath it to downstack it very quickly. And a +6. Lots of combos coming out from Arisu at the moment. Sorry, that's Pone on the left. Pone is on the left. I'm confused from the last match when Pone was on the right. And now Pone is making it 3 versus 2. Alright, this can still go either way. Pone can win. Arisu can still make a comeback. Oh. Arisu almost didn't have time to do what she was about to do there. I believe both players are probably feeling the pressure from all of these long sets, so they've been playing panel for quite a long time today. Both players may be tired. Both players may be feeling the stress of playing in the tournament and being this far in. Of course, at this point, it's only for third place, but third place in the expert tournament is this is the most prestigious tournament we hold once a month. And so, being third place among the entrants is a pretty big deal, especially when you have 2 Grandmasters in attendance. It's very impressive. I don't even know anyone in Brazil, says Yoshi. Everybody, Yoshi doesn't know himself confirmed. Or maybe he's trying to say he doesn't live in Brazil. Oh, that was close, Pone. You didn't vote, Ganache? Oh. That's Pone taking game 4. That's going to stack it heavily in his favor because it is match point for him. However, it's still not impossible for Arisu to make a comeback here. Arisu can still take third place. But will she be able to take it against Pone? The world waits with bated breath. The entire world. All of Brazil and all of Japan are watching this right now. The winner of this match decides who is the best region forever. That's a true thing that's really happening right now. And it's not something fake that I made up as a meme. Wow, look at that. Wow, look at that lag chain. Look at those lag chains coming out from Pone right now. No doubt it was all completely intentional. It was very impressive to look at. Meanwhile, Arisu is playing quite high stack against all of this chain pressure that Pone is sending out right now. It seems to be working out pretty well for her so far. Cutting chains early to send lots of small blocks against Pone. Yeah, she does seem to slow down Arisu later on in the bracket. Uh-oh. Pone with too few panels. Danger. He better stop. Oh no! He was locked out! That's unfortunate. He had opportunity to garbage chain off of that, but he just did not see it in time. Now it is 4-3. Arisu looking to make that comeback. And now it's looking even more realistic than before. Pone cutting that chain a little earlier than he could have. Because he wanted to save that clear for the next volley of garbage. Which I believe was a wise decision. Okay. Both players dealing with some garbage at the moment. Arasu now not topped out. Never mind, there it is. I was waiting to see it. Now this could be interesting. Ooh, lots of blues. Lots of light blues for Pone to deal with right there. And by deal with, I mean for him to do whatever he wanted with. Ooh, that actually was an unfortunate slide for Pone. He did not want that to happen. He had a different clear in mind. It was set up and ready to go. But the unfortunate timing of that slide made him have to scramble for a different clear. But he managed to make it work. Meanwhile, on Arasu's side, not quite topped out, but there should be some combo pressure coming down. Actually, Pone not sending a lot of combo pressure at the moment. He's sending more chains. However, there are now a lot of combos coming out now that I say that. I'm taking a look at the analytics on the left side there. Wow, 12 plus 4 combos from Arasu. Not going to be the most effective layering, however, if they fall on top at the wrong moment, they can be quite deadly for Pone. Okay. Oh, wow. Arasu was lucky there that she wasn't topped out. She had the raising stack for just a moment there. I think there may have been a miss swap on her side that caused her to not quite get the clear that she had set up in mind. But luckily she wasn't topped out, so she was able to find something else as soon as she noticed. Oh my goodness. Now Pone playing very high stack. He has no garbage, but there will be a combo storm falling very shortly. Oh, never mind. No garbage coming onto Pone's side by Arasu. Oh my goodness gracious me. And not quite enough garbage to even top Pone out again. Meanwhile, Arasu dealing with the combos. Oh my goodness, but Pone, what happened? And now it is 4-4. Both players tied up. It is match point. It can go either way. Game 9 scenario for the bronze third place match, ladies and gentlemen. This is game point for both players. It can go either way. This is perhaps the closest match we've seen all day. And I'm very excited to see what happens. Let's hope they can give us a brilliant match, ladies and gentlemen. There's a Shogun for the ×8 on Pone's side. Not something you see every day. Sending a ×9 very early on, near the 30-second mark as the opening. Arasu dealing with it, caught rather mid-stack against that. Oh! And Arasu! Wait, Pone! Oh! My goodness, what happened there? Oh no. That is unfortunate. At the 55-second mark, Arasu takes it for the bronze medal. He messed up the Shogun. Oh my goodness. I was watching Arasu's side at the moment when it happened. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Arasu is your winner, so the folks who voted 50 panels on Arasu, you're getting a big payday right now in the channel points. Oh my goodness gracious me. 860 points for your 50 bet, Lunar Chimera says. Wow. Congratulations, Arasu and Pone. You will be getting the 4th place spot in today's tournament. Very well played. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to the grand finals. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to Decibel versus KK, 2 Grandmasters for the first time in a very long time. Perhaps the first time in the history of having changed the name to the Expert Tournament from the Major, which it used to be called. This may be the first time we've seen 2 Grandmasters in Grand Finals. This surely will be a set for the ages, ladies and gentlemen. So, on your left, we have KK. I'm just updating. And on the right, we have Decibel. Reset the scores back to 0. Alright, and here they go, ladies and gentlemen. We could be in for a long game. Ladies and gentlemen, strap in, get your snacks, because we could be having some long games this time. But, once again, you never know what's going to happen during the expert bracket. But Grandmasters do tend to go for quite a long time against each other. So they're both masters of defense. Oh my goodness, but KK not able to find a clear. And he loses before the 1 minute mark. And Decibel taking game 1 against KK. Let's see if that continues to happen. Forky said, I'll see you guys in an hour. But then he said, never mind, I'll see you guys in 5 minutes. Let's see, Decibel taking all 5 games within a minute against another Grandmaster. Decibel does seem to be on a level above other Grandmasters at times when I'm watching. Just the way he's able to play and everything seems to line up for him. But KK is nothing to sneeze at, or KK is not to be underestimated, is what I mean to say. And I believe we'll be seeing a longer match here. Let's see what happens. I would still advise all of you ladies and gentlemen to get your snacks, because I believe we will still be in for quite a long set despite the outcome of that first one. They're also playing ranked, which is interesting to see. I guess it's not all that strange to see ranked mode on a tournament, but since a lot of players tend to noticeably play worse due to tournament nerves and such, I can see why many would opt to not play ranked. Oh, KK is just finding clear after clear to buy time. Oh, he manages to find something though. Whenever that happens to me, I am not able to find anything half the time. But KK, the Grandmaster, he's able to find one. Meanwhile, Decibel, with not quite a tower, but a hill on the right side of his board. And he manages to clean it up very beautifully. I believe Ganache used to say Decibel is the master of playing clean, or maybe that was Zyza, I don't remember. Either way, most Grandmasters are very good at keeping their boards clean, and especially Decibel with the way he can handle his combos and everything. Very beautiful to watch him. The high-pitched Bowser, is that... I guess it does have those. I wish somebody would have rolled my modded Kamek, because the last Kamek that got randomly rolled wasn't the meme one. Oh well. Someone played ranked in the wild. Rui played ranked on GCT's wild. Oh yeah, that's right. I did. I remember seeing that when I was in San Jose, looking on my phone. He was playing ranked against Mado, and I was like, "What the heck are you doing? Playing ranked on this meme build?" It almost seems like cheating to gain rank points off of the GCT's wild ride. But Decibel taking game number 2 against KK. It wasn't on purpose at first. Fair enough. Wow, both players doing some kind of amazing, insane clears right now. Chains and combos out the wazoo, as would be the scientific term. And, alright, Decibel about to deal with somewhat of a one-line clear. However, it looks like he's got something set up and ready to go. He's going to use those yellows. There we go. Okay. He is setting up for a garbage chain. There we go. He has a tier 2 clear. In fact, a few options for that. He might go for the reds, but nope, he's just going to stay on tier 1. There's no need to go up to tier 2 in that point in time. KK on the left, dealing with some one-line clears, but he is not currently topped out. So he is safe, and he raises, and he gets a shock panel even, ladies and gentlemen. Could we be seeing some shock garbage coming in from KK's side of the field? We could be seeing that later on if he's able to raise even higher. For those uninitiated, shock panels can only be spawned from the bottom of the screen when raising panels. They will never spawn from garbage, which is where a majority of your panels will come from at this high level. And so, at this point in time, that one shock panel is just a dead panel on his side of the field. He can't do anything with it. It's just blocking up space. So actually, not great to have. And if he gets a second one and does not get a third, it's going to be even worse of a problem. In that case, we like to call them the cursed panels. The cursed shock panels. So he only has one, there's nothing he can do with it. Absolutely nothing. So he just has to play around it being on his field at the current time. Meanwhile, Decibel has a very nice and flat stack. He has many combos and chains lined up, ready to go at any given moment. He continues to send combos and chains to KK, sending those, or setting up those automatic chains so that he has plenty of time on defense, and setting up combos as well so that he can keep up his constant storm of stop time and also the constant storm of combos on KK's side whenever given the opportunity to fall. Now KK, still with that one shock panel on his side of the board, hasn't had a chance to raise into a second one yet, but even so, if he were to raise right now, he would hope for 2 extra shock panels and not just one, because, as I mentioned before, only getting one would be even more trouble. Okay, lots of very interesting T and L-shaped combos coming out from both sides of the field. We are hitting the 3.5 minute mark at this point in time. Alright, now we have Decibel dealing with a lot of combos, but once those get cleared, he's just going to have ample opportunity to use those resources as he sees fit. There's a +6 waiting in the wings there for him. KK, meanwhile, playing high stack. There are a lot of ×3 garbages on top of him. He is now topped out. However, ooh, look at all those little ×4s, or +4, the 4 combo garbages coming down on KK. Oh my goodness. I call those blocks the blocks I can never chain because the blocks placements are bleeping horrid. I mean the shock panels, because yes. Wait, oh, never mind. Okay. For a second I lost track of the shock panel on KK's board, but there it is at the bottom. He still has it, ladies and gentlemen. It's still wreaking havoc on his side of the field. There it is, being annoying. The shock panel, it's such a big deal right now, ladies and gentlemen. Down where he's not even working. Down at the bottom of his stack. Alright, KK may not get another chance to raise his stack at all during this set. Oh no, and he doesn't! It looks like he was just a little bit too slow there. Decibel taking game 3 against KK. This isn't looking good for KK, but he may still be able to make a comeback if he's able to take some matches against Decibel. Decibel may be strong, but KK is also quite strong. He is not undefeatable, and he is not undefeated. Will we be seeing a repeat of Decibel as the Panel Attack Expert Monthly winner? Or will KK be able to make a comeback and become the Grand Champion for the month of April? Oh my goodness, not playing like that, and now it is match point. In fact, it is tournament point for Decibel. If he wins one more match, that's it. It's all over. Decibel will be your Grand Champion for April 2022. But Zyza, are you going to take that sitting down? Sorry, KK, are you going to take that sitting down? I don't think you are. Let's go ahead and beat Decibel. I know you have it in you to take at least one game. You can't let it sit down like this. Is he going to do a 5-0 sweep against another Grandmaster? And he takes it! The sweep 5-0 against KK. Decibel is your April 2022 Panel Attack Expert Division Grand Champion. For how many months in a row is that? Many months in a row. Oh my goodness, KK, that is unfortunate. And we have someone in chat who's named themselves Loser. And now my dog Roll has come in to congratulate Decibel on his win. Oh my goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it. Just like that, Decibel is your Panel Attack Expert Monthly Champion, taking a 5-0 sweep against KK. If I remember correctly, RSU at least took a few games against him, right? So, you know, RSU Grandmaster confirmed. Dog. Grr, that was rough for KK. Congratulations, Decibel. KK, congratulations on your silver medal finish. That is nothing to sneeze at. I finished DNF because I didn't even make it to brackets. So, you know, that's better than I did. Hey! And now Decibel is going straight into playing Zyza. Goodness gracious. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming to this stream for the April 2022 Expert Tournament. It was a lot of fun to stream. I hope you guys enjoyed my commentary. I have been Buster Beachside, and we'll be seeing you next week, I believe. Next week? No, the week after next. The first Saturday of the month in May, April 7th, will be our next Novice Tournament bracket. So meet us here on that date and time at 2 p.m. PST. And of course, the time for your time zone will be posted in the Discord. There's a spider on my wall and it's coming towards me. So I'm going to go ahead and end the stream, go get myself some dinner. And we'll be seeing you guys next time. Bye, everybody.